So here's
Okay.
round two. All right.
Okay.
And round two,
I feel like it should be a bell.
you think
Like,
so?
ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding,
yeah.
ding. Okay.
I actually like Nate yelling. It's funner. Yeah, I like Nate yelling. Yeah, yeah. All right. So so I was thinking about how do I do two? All right, so I'll do the home one, right?
Okay.
So one of the things that you and I work together and we help run this ministry called the Urban Scholastic Center, and one of the things that was really been impactful for me lately was a conversation me and you had, right, when we were talking about what did we want to create or what did we want the place to feel like when our
Right.
students came, right? And you used this word home, right? And I've not stopped thinking about home ever since, right? And so I have this idea of home, and I want to kind of run it by you and see your thoughts, right? So, and I'll use an example as part of it. But anyway, when I think of home, I think of home as a place where you can't make any mistakes. You can only miss the mark,
Okay.
right? So, for example, right, I was having a rough day one day, and I was driving around. I didn't know where to go, right? And then I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to my mother's house, right? Because I know if I go to my mama's house, I can't make a mistake there, right? And so when I got there, no one was there, right? But I went right in. I laid smooth on her bed, right?
Yep.
Because you can't make a mistake at home.
Cannot.
Now she might come home and she'd be like, "You messed up my covers,
Yeah,
or
or
you should have,"
something.
right? You can miss the mark, right? But you can't make a mistake,
Right.
right? And so as I think about that as a concept of home and what we're trying to create for our students, I wonder how that resonates with you.
Backing up on even just the where you're saying like you can make a mistake if you come in the house, like your mom will come home and be like, "What are you doing?" or
Yeah.
whatever, but she still welcomes you
Yeah.
there. Do you know what I mean? It's still homey. Like they're still happy to see you. It's still welcoming and warm. It makes me think of like what is that, Prodigal Son? When the dad was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Hey, yeah, you messed that all the way up, but welcome home,"
uh-huh,
right?
yeah,
and
yeah.
so I don't know, like home is just like where you feel safe and you feel secure and you feel like you can be yourself. I feel like I can exhale there. Like I don't feel like I have to worry about the rest of the world when I'm there. And that is the actual atmosphere that I want to create for our kids, where they feel comfortable enough coming in. They trust all the grown people there. They trust their siblings and there's a lot of siblings.
Yeah, yeah.
Their siblings,
There's a lot.
and their
There are
peers.
siblings and
There
peers
are
there, yeah.
siblings and peers there. But where they trust them, and they
Yeah.
feel safe there to be themselves, to be able to grow, to be able to make mistakes, to be able to they just be seen as humans, like where they don't feel like they have to mask.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to come through a door, ours,
Yeah.
and take their mask off.
Yeah.
Even if they put it back on when they walk out the door, we'll teach them not to at some
Uh-huh.
point,
Right,
right? But I want you to at least feel like you can just be transparent here. Like you get to be all of you, good, bad, ugly, and we're gonna love you through it. We're not gonna judge you for it. We're gonna just love on you.
Yeah,
Do you
you
know what I
can't-
mean?
you can't
and encourage
make
you
a
to grow.
mistake
You
here.
cannot.
You can maybe miss the mark, right?
Yeah.
Like you can go places you're not supposed to go.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do in this space.
But
right?
even with the mistakes, you teach them through
Yeah,
that.
exactly right,
We have
yeah.
conversations around it. We talk about it. We do that kind of thing because that's what home does.
That's
you
what home
learn through those things. You do not like. I'm not here to like, make you feel like the world does, like crappy or like something's wrong with you
Yeah.
or those kind of things. I want you like to. I like nurturing,
Right.
like the nurturing feel. Like you feel nurtured and you feel seen and you feel heard. Like you know you have a voice here. You know you can speak up here. You know you can like advocate for your friends here or whatever the case is. Like you get to do whatever it is that is you in this space.
Now, when I think about it, I guess when I think about it in that way, and I love hearing you talk about it, it makes me wonder, all right, why does it feel like we have to be intentional about that? Does that feel like it's in contrast to how other ministry? I mean, why? Right? It feels like we have to, right? We have to have this conversation. We have to
Everybody's
talk
masking.
about it, right? What? Okay, tell me what
Everybody's
you mean.
masking. Like,
What do you
everybody's
mean?
masking.
Tell
If
me
you-
what you
no
mean.
one like I feel like spaces are not welcoming enough. Like I think about like, and I'm not talking about my church in specific.
Yeah, but-
I'm thinking about like going to conferences and those kind of things and sitting in like the audience and being like, but not me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't look at me. Like, I don't even want to be seen. Do you know what I mean? Or those kind of things. But everybody's so busy, like, masking because everybody's so afraid to say, I made a mistake, or so afraid to say, like, it's the weirdest thing to me
Yeah.
because if I say I made mistakes, I actually give God glory in that, right? Because
I
I'm not
agree,
this
yeah.
mistake anymore, right?
Uh-huh.
Or I'm not this thing that I did. I give God like this amazing like glory if I am saying like that was her, but now I'm somebody totally different now, right? I give him glory in that. But if we stop talking about the ugly, then we stop giving God glory
Well,
for
I think we
where
did
we are
it,
now.
I think we did that to ourselves, though, right?
think so.
I grew up in 80s, 90s
Yep.
holiness culture, right?
Yep.
And so the idea was, and I had a crisis when I hit 37, right? Because
Yeah.
when I grew up in church, like the idea was, oh, the longer you're in this thing, the less you'll make a mistake, right? The less.
Oh, God.
And I remember, and I was talking to a young Christian who works with us the other day, and I remember saying to her, "Hey, I'm gonna say this to you, and I wish that somebody had said it to me."
Yeah.
I said, "I want you to understand." In following after Jesus, I said, nobody's doing it better than you.
No.
They may be doing it different, but nobody's
nobody's
doing it
doing it
better
better.
than you. If you're a new Christian just now starting to follow Jesus, and you a Christian who've been in this mug 60 years, nobody's doing it better than you.
Yeah, it's just
right?
different.
Right, but we've made it seem like you are doing that. The longer you're in it, you're doing it better, right? And because of that, ministry places, churches don't get to feel like home, right? Because the expectation there is you won't make a mistake,
Right.
But I'm like, if it was truly what it was meant to be, when you went there, you would feel like you can't make a mistake. I feel like it's very hard to make a mistake at my mama's house. I don't even know what I would do. I'm like,
Or I feel like I can just take the veil off.
Right, yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I made
Yeah.
the mistake.
Yeah.
Hey, I made
Hey,
the
this
mistake.
is what
Can y'all
it is.
help me?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
can you like come around me and support me and do
Yeah.
something at this point? But I never feel comfortable enough in a church setting coming in and being like, I'm gonna take the veil off. I just be like, I'm over here. I'm gonna be over here.
And-
right?
yeah.
And I don't want that for I don't
Me
want that for our
neither.
kids.
It's-
I really
and it's
want
not
to create an
sustainable.
atmosphere where they
Yeah.
feel like, no, I can go to Miss Crystal and talk to her. Like I can say something to her and she's not gonna judge me. She's not gonna whatever. Now I'm gonna tell you what the word says.
Exactly
I'm
right.
gonna tell you what the word
Right.
says, but I'm gonna love you through it all.
Exactly.
And so that's how I feel like it's church culture should be.
Yeah.
I should be able to, because when I go to God, He don't do that to me.
I
He's
love
not
it.
beating me up.
I've told people I would love my.
No, I need to know it.
Nate!
I need to know. I need to know.
No, it's too late. It's too late. We're in there. All right.